So I was playing around with a song in the living room on this guitar. And I came and plugged it in and was quite disappointed how it sounded. So it's not really got a good country twang, this jazz box guitar. So if we have a look at what we're playing with here, then I've used one of my favourite Agora amps, this Princess 76, the accompanying 112 cab, some quite wide, loose, I guess you could call it, low, high cuts, and then a bit of reverb. Ignore this, we're not using this at the moment. Parametric EQ, doing some more high and low cuts, really loose, and then a bit of studio compression, and that's what we're playing with. But that's basically what I heard when I first plugged in. So I've been really enjoying lately using this CS1 in kind of parallel compression. And I didn't help it really, it kind of made it more muddy. So what I played around with was this. Which it's not as good as a single coil guitar, but it does kind of give you a more thinner kind of vibe. Especially if we're on a middle selection, that was just the neck. Take the compression off. So I wouldn't call this a single coil pickup simulator, but it's just scooping before the input of the amp, and then we're also engaging this 10-band EQ, which is just taking a little bit of scooping a little bit, pushing a little bit of 2K, going into the speaker cap. But some other cool things that I've done then, if we add that in again, we've got this poly detune, which I'm just kind of using as a doubler. Not really doing much. You can just hear a little bit of air and just a slight bit of modulation. I can anyway. You might think it's too much, or can't hear it at all. And then this is kind of cool. So when we're not engaged, we're all routed to the A path. So we're going through the hot springs. We've got quite a big high and low cut on the reverb, and then we're on the A. We're panned down the center. But when we engage this, we take that path A down to panning just left 30, which is how the right is, and now we're evenly split. So we go from just going through the reverb, not in mono, but evenly left and right, and then when we engage this slap, we're sending down through this simple delay of a 76 millisecond delay and 30% mix. And then I felt it needed a little bit of brightness, so I've run it through a very, probably doing nothing that till you could maybe add a little bit more before we return back here. And then it's, as I say, it is panned 30, so it gives you a little bit more of a stereo depth of that slap delay. So if I take it off, I mean the spring, there's a little bit of a slap, with the drip. But what we do by that is just pan that drip a bit more to the left and have a little bit more of the delay. I feel it just gives you a bit more clarity on that slapback delay, because obviously you're not running it completely through the drip of the spring. So yeah, I digress. So that's what I've been playing around with today. As I say, it's not a single coil simulator, but it definitely does give you, gets you a bit closer to it if you're on a guitar. You might be at a show and you've only brought humbucker pickups and, guitars with humbucker pickups, and you want a little bit of that kind of, either for funkiness or, country twang. It sounds better on, I think these pickups are quite dull, they're very old. But I like it, anyway. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give this video a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And I think I'll make this available on my Buy Me a Coffee if you want to check that out. On my page, I've got a bunch of free presets as well as some that you might like to buy. But until next time, goodbye.